You believe you're a solid person. You wake up every morning, follow the rules, treat others with basic respect. And deep down, you're convinced that under no circumstances could you ever torture or destroy another human being. Then psychology quietly drops a bomb on that comfortable idea and makes you question everything. What turns an ordinary human into a monster? Is evil a rare disease carried by broken individuals, or is it a hidden trap waiting inside every single one of us? For decades, you have been taught that bad actions come from bad apples. We like that explanation. It keeps us feeling safe in our beds. But what if the apple isn't the problem? What if the barrel itself is designed to rot anything placed inside it? In the summer of 1971, a social psychologist named Dr. Philip Zimbardo decided to test this exact question in the basement of the Stanford University Psychology building. He carefully selected 24 mentally healthy college students. These were ordinary guys with no history of violence, no criminal records, and no psychological issues. Then he flipped a coin to randomly assign their roles. Pure chance decided who would be in charge and who would be controlled. Half became prison guards. The other half became prisoners. To make the simulation feel immersive and real, the researchers paid close attention to every detail. They gave the guards khaki military-style uniforms and mirrored sunglasses. The mirrored sunglasses were key. They permitted eye contact, making it easy for the guards to treat prisoners as objects instead of human beings. This combination created a powerful mix of anonymity and authority. On the other side, the prisoners received loose, uncomfortable smocks stamped with numbers. They were addressed only by their ID numbers instead of their real names. No more John or Mike, just prisoner 416. This simple change stripped away their individual identity and turned them into interchangeable parts of a system. What happened next shocked even Zimbardo and his team. Within just 24 hours, the guards who had been peaceful, ordinary students only days before began inventing their own psychological torture techniques. They forced prisoners to sleep on cold concrete floors, denied them bathroom access during the night, and forced them to perform humiliating physical exercises at odd hours. The prisoners didn't fight back. They broke. They suffered uncontrollable emotional breakdowns, severe anxiety, and total distress. The situation spiraled out of control so rapidly that Zimbardo was forced to shut the entire experiment down after only 6 days instead of the planned 2 weeks. Zimbardo called this rapid metamorphosis the Lucifer effect. It's the idea that when you combine powerful social roles, anonymity, symbols of authority, and a system that gives permission, even good people can quickly stop acting like themselves. They begin acting as agents of the system instead of independent moral beings. 10 years earlier, in 1961, another researcher named Stanley Milgram at Yale University was trying to understand something even darker: how ordinary citizens could participate in state-sponsored cruelty during wartime. He invited everyday volunteers from all walks of life into his laboratory. They thought they were assisting in a memory study. Their job was to deliver electric shocks to a learner in another room every time he gave a wrong answer. The shock generator featured 30 switches starting at a mild 15 volts marked slight shock and going all the way up to 450 volts clearly marked with red danger signs and the letters XXX. The learner was actually an actor trained to react convincingly. As the voltage increased, he screamed in pain, banged on the wall, begged to be let out, and eventually went completely silent. Whenever the participant hesitated or wanted to stop, the experimenter in a professional white lab coat calmly said, "The experiment requires that you continue." No threats, just quiet authority. Before running the study, Milgram asked 40 psychiatrists to predict the results. They guessed that only about 1% of normal people, basically sadists, would go all the way to the maximum shock. The actual result was horrifying. 65% of ordinary participants delivered the full 450-volt shock, even while showing clear signs of extreme stress, sweating, and verbal protests. Their hands kept moving even when their minds were screaming to stop. Why does the human brain obey authority so easily, even when it clearly violates our morals? To understand this, we must look back into our deep evolutionary past. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors lived in small, tight-knit tribes on the African savanna. Being cast out of the tribe for breaking norms or questioning leaders almost certainly meant death. No food, no protection, and easy prey for predators. The humans who survived and passed down their genes were those who learned to conform, obey authority, and stay part of the tribe at all costs. That powerful survival instinct is still hardwired into your brain today. In 1951, psychologist Solomon Asch demonstrated just how strong this pressure to conform really is. He put a participant in a room with several actors. The task was simple: compare line lengths on cards and say which ones matched. But the actors deliberately gave the exact same wrong answer. over 75% of participants went along with the incorrect group answer at least once. Your brain would rather be wrong with a crowd than right alone. When anonymity, strong authority, and group pressure align, a psychological state called de-individuation occurs. Your personal sense of self fades into the background. You stop judging your actions based on your own internal values and start behaving according to whatever the crowd around you expects. This explains why calm sports fans can suddenly turn into violent rioting mobs, why normal teenagers become cruel in online comment sections, and why ordinary soldiers commit terrible acts during war. The Lucifer effect teaches us something uncomfortable. Cruelty rarely comes from a few born monsters making purely evil choices. More often, it comes from ordinary, decent people who are slowly pulled into toxic situations through small compromises, granted authority, and systems that normalize harmful behavior step by step. These same psychological mechanisms are operating in our modern world right now. Social media platforms, algorithmic feeds, and online pylons use the exact same ancient instincts demonstrated in those classic experiments. The uniforms have changed to profile pictures, and the authority figures to trending topics, but the underlying psychology remains identical. You still believe you are one of the good ones, and in normal everyday circumstances, you probably are. But after seeing how these hidden mechanisms work, you now understand how powerful the situation itself can be and how easily it can change even the best of us when the conditions are right. The real takeaway isn't to feel hopeless about human nature. It's to stay aware. Awareness of these hidden forces is the best tool you have to protect yourself from falling into the same traps that turn normal students into something they never thought they could become.